friends. Oh wow, I do not have a good setup happening here at all. It's sitting on Allie's coffee bag. Hi friends, so welcome to the vlog again, and I just want to take some time before we go into this next video just to say thank you so much for just all of the support and honestly the kind words that you guys said to me, whether it be about the vlog or things that were shared. And wow, I am so thankful. Honestly, I came in fully prepared that only my family was going to watch it. Would have been totally fine because I still enjoy it. But yeah, and so I just wanted to say, oh, sorry, I struggle with words when I start the camera, and when I'm not on camera. But anyways, so I just want to thank you guys before we start this video with Wesley Lane, and I hope you enjoyed my attempt at being artsy with coffee. Yeah, the lighting was really hard in the house that I was in, but it's a grand time. Enjoy!
Lots of fun.
Yeah! Coffee! Well, welcome to the vlog. Hey, I don't know what to call it yet, but we'll get there as time goes on. But today, or tonight, I have Wesley Lane. Here he is. He's a really awesome pal of mine, and he's doing so many great things. I can't even name them all. But actually, I'm gonna let him speak for himself. Who are you?
Who am I? Thank you. Thank you for that wonderful introduction.
Yeah.
I am Wesley Lane, as you said. I'd say our connection kind of is through so many different avenues, whether it be just random friends like our good friend Allie, who's super cool. I love her glasses and her laugh. She's really cool.
She's behind the camera right now.
Yeah, she's right there.
She's right there.
But all those things are true, even if she weren't in the room. Who I am, honestly, I'm just a 22-year-old guy, trying to live my life, I guess, the best way that I know how, and using the information and experience that I've had through life to navigate the rest of my future. It's a very broad, general statement, but I don't know what else to not that over. But
That'd be sad.
But yeah, so that's kind of me a little bit.
Yeah. So a big part of like this video is just like allowing different people in my life and just to talk about their passions and like what brings joy to their heart. And Wesley is for sure a passionate person. He shows it through so many creative avenues that he has. Photography is a big one.
Yeah.
Honestly, just like telling stories through his photography, and also coffee is a big. He actually made this. You'll see a video later about it. But yeah, and I was just going to give you opportunity to like speak on your passions.
Yeah.
However you want to.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you hit on two pretty big ones between. I'd say probably even three, whether you knew it or not, between photography and like even design, but then also coffee. And so I'd say, yeah, photography has kind of been something that's just been something I've kind of like piddled with a little bit. And then over time, more and more friends and people were like, dude, you kind of have an eye for this, and we want you to do more and have more projects. And so I think from that, it allowed me to build some confidence. and from that, it's been a cool avenue to, one, just connect with people, because photography and like even videography is just become more and more easily accessible. And so with that, there's been a lot of bridging the gap between people who are more experienced and then people who, you know, I would even consider myself probably maybe in the middle ground of like had some experience but not know everything.
Yeah.
And there's people who are just like beginners who are just coming right into it, and they're killing it already, you know. But I think with that, it's a cool to just even talking about the passion of it is there's a connection between all different types of people in there. But two, it's like everybody has their own style in it, and everybody's also learning at their own pace, which is kind of cool and true to life too, which I think kind of spans over a bunch of different stuff. I know we talked a while back, not really a while back, but like last week.
Last week.
Yeah. It feels like forever ago.
Yeah.
Just about coffee too, and how that's been something cool that I've been able to kind of be a part of the last, let's say, 3-4 years. Whether it be just, you know, at my house drinking a cup of coffee with a great friend, or being like behind the bar at a coffee roaster or coffee shop and being able to like make coffee for people. I was recently asked like, what's one of your favorite things doing that? And I think for me it is too like the connection with different types of people, but also like different areas of learning. And I think it's been cool to even get a piece of like I'm learning while also like trying to like communicate and teach other people about the specifics of one cup of coffee, and you know, even why it may cost a little bit more, or why the process is so much longer, or why something's a little bit different. Actually, I had one of my friends while we were on a trail run. It was Brennan.
Brennan.
He was like, "All right, so enough with the long talk. Let's teach me something about coffee." And 3 miles into a run, I'm like, okay, I don't necessarily want to explain all this coffee talk, but it was good because he appreciated it and actually was like, oh, now I know what espresso is.
I knew that. It's a big thing.
Yeah. And so I think with that, it's like there's people who are eager and people who just take it as it is and just need it for the morning to get through their day.
Yeah.
But I think from that, it's like it's definitely something to latch onto in a bigger arena than I've even dabbled in. So it's been cool to kind of have a little piece of that and bring that into, I guess, like the passions that I have in connecting and relating. So.
Yeah. So coffee has really become such like a communal thing. So working in coffee shops, has it been really cool to see people come in and just be in a coffee shop, whether that's to like work on things or to actually like have one-on-ones with people? What is that look like for you?
Yeah, I'd say I'm a good bit of both of those, like in just experiencing them, but also like seeing them. I was privileged to work at a shop back home in Greenville, North Carolina, and it was cool talking with like the owner of the shop, and he's like, well, the way that we specifically set our bar up is so that people who are making coffee are able to interact with people who are like getting the coffee, and it's just built to just build connection and have communication with people, and so I really appreciated like the thought that was taken behind that, and I think kind of hitting on the communal aspect of it, even if I think coffee's so diverse that so many people, especially even like college students and a little bit older with like the new like kind of American third wave coffee coming in, and like coffee shops seem like they're just popping up everywhere.
Yeah.
It's just become
Cleveland.
yeah. I think it's just become something that it is trendy, but it's also like it's not a trend that has just like sprung up. You know, there's been other cultures from years ago that have just sat down and enjoyed, whether it be just a cup of coffee. They've done that and been able to just like sit and talk to people. So I think from that, it's like it really does build, like there is a communal aspect to it. And it is kind of something that like, you know, on a cold morning or a tiring afternoon, you just sit with somebody, and whether you hear about their life or you're discussing something, you know, you go into a meeting. And I think even like right now, you know, it's kind of soothing, you know,
Yeah,
just to
warm.
like, whether you're even
just holding it.
yeah,
It's
you
like
don't even have to
nice.
like drink it, which I would say drink it because it's
yeah,
good.
it's really good.
But
Recommend.
but yeah, I think with that, it's just like it is comforting, but it's also connecting too. So look at that alliteration.
That's incredible. I love it. Is it recording?
No, it's good.
Sweet. Sorry.
And we're back.
And we're back. Yeah, so going back to what we were talking about before the video stopped. But, so you started out in the beginning talking about how you had people encourage you with your passions, or maybe like budding passions that you had, whether it be like graphic design, photography, making coffee, and those are things you're probably not good at right off the bat. So what are pieces of advice that you'd have for people that are just starting any passion that you kind of have to be bad at it at the beginning in order to get good and like be okay with that? So what does that look like for you?
Yeah, great question. I think even kind of in the design aspect of things, somebody, I can't remember if I read this or if I heard this, but I just remember it was kind of in a season where I was being very particular on a lot of little things, whether it be like design that I didn't like or something specific. And it was done is better than perfect, which is, especially in the productive age, like that's something that everybody hits on. It's like get it done, and don't worry about like how perfect it is. But I think for me, it was more of like do and finish with quality, but make sure that you're not getting caught up. And so I think in that, if there is any advice in that, is don't be afraid to just do it and to fail, because I think in doing you also have to reach a point of finishing, and from that there's retrospect, and so you then look and say, okay, well, I did mess up here, and like it happened, you know, and from that it's like you can either sulk and sit, or you can kind of go in and say, okay, that happened, like what do we do, like let's move on. And so I think for me that was something that was difficult to like experience, but I think once I somewhat grasped it, because there's no way that I'm perfect at it now, because there's still fear of failure, fear of not doing it perfect, and that comes into maybe even comparing myself to other people too. But I think in the coffee world you kind of have to go in with the expectation of I don't know everything, but I do know something, and being adaptable, but also using your previous experience to aid you and to guide you in that. So I think with that, that small bit of advice, it's kind of all of that just tangled up into it, of just doing and looking back in retrospect, and not being afraid to, whether it's failure in your own mind or failure on a grander scheme, to do it and try and do it with quality, but to just kind of press on and don't worry about all the very small things that your mind could get caught up on. Kind of be self-controlled in that, and just do it and go for it, you know?
Yeah. No, that's really good. I think it's so easy to, like, when you start things, you almost, like, don't really let people in on it either, and you, like, those are, like, the best times to ask people for help. Like, even Wesley, before this video even started, showed me what white balance was on the camera, and, like, things like that I think are so cool, because it's just, like, it also, starting and trying new things allows you to invite community in, and just like allow people to train you on what they've learned, and how they've learned it. So one, like, it does make you better, but also like you make a friend in that, and that is just, it's, I think that's what it's all about. But Yeah, this is really awesome, and thank
Heck
you
yeah.
so much for sharing.
Yes.
But before we go, what is a song request that you have for the fellow viewer? Even if it's just my mom watching, what would you tell my mom to listen to?
So I'll give 2 recommendations.
Okay.
So because I went to a Coin concert the other night, I would say listen to Coin Talk Too Much. It's really good, really poppy. It'll get you dancing.
Oh, yeah.
But on another note, it's a song, actually may have it here.
Casual.
Casual, just here, we are in my house.
Yeah. Vintage church worship. It's not a type of worship. It's actually a church. Just
is
let
a
you
church.
know.
Raleigh, North Carolina. But it's called Take Us, O Lord, and it features Amy Wilson, and it's by Bifrost Arts. So it's pretty good.
Cool name.
Yeah, it is. It's pretty cool. It's kind of got like I'd say an uncanny note to it almost. But I like it a lot because I'm not super mainstream at all. So.
Yeah, hey, we'll just keep watching you, what you listen to at night when we're... Okay, Spotify has that sounded really weird.
Yeah, you gotta get context.
Spotify has a cool feature on the side with friend activity, and so my roommate and I, Allie, actually watch our friends' activity, and so we can tell what our friends are listening to. And we can kind of tell what they're doing based off of what music they're listening to. So like in the morning, a lot of people are listening to worship. So just get in the right mindset. And then in the middle of the day, it's a lot of like funky, fresh,
it's like
happy songs.
Gotta get through it.
Yeah, and so it's a fun time. But Wesley, loved having you.
Thank you for having me.
And
in my house.
Yeah, we're in his house too. But you're incredible, and we have so much to learn from you. And yeah, thanks for sharing about your passions and just who you are and what you're learning and stuff. So yeah.
Awesome.
But that is all for this vlog. I don't know who's on the next episode, but it'll be a grand time. And thank you for watching. You all are amazing. Bye! Yeah, we did it!
That was so fun.
Oh, such a natural too. I felt like a Jimmy Fallon, except not as funny. Go Allie, go Allie. Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Nice surprise, right?
This is your music video, Allie. Oh, smoking CO2.